So one hobby I've never really talked that much about on this channel right here is journaling. It's something I have enjoyed doing for many years now, and as always look different. And the past couple of years I have been on a bit of a struggle bus journey with journaling. I've been struggling a lot with journaling and what I want it to look like. And then earlier this year I was just like, you know what, let's start this here journal and just no pressure with. Like, you do whatever you want, whatever you feel like that day. If you want to just write something, just write something. If you want to make a more creative spread, make something more creative. If you don't want to do anything at all for a couple of months, you don't do anything at all. You don't do anything at all without any pressure or like feeling like a failure because you didn't keep up with things. So actually having that attitude has made me fall back in love with journaling, and I have also fallen into a rabbit hole of watching journaling videos. That's like all I watch these days. It's bad. So I thought I would make one myself. Just kind of, I'm calling it a week in my journal, but that's not true because I only came up with this on Thursday. It's not a full week, but I do have to say at the start of the week I didn't really do that much, and I just filmed myself making some spreads. I will voice over it. I will see how that goes because I've never done a video like this. So excuse me for some trial and error as I figure it out. I don't know how the shots will look fully in the edit and if my voiceover will do well because I'm filming this intro before I'm doing all that. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna go on this journey together. And yeah, I'm gonna make some spreads in here. We do have to say that this was the week, like the last week of May. So we also have like my May wrap up and my June setup in here as well. So I thought that was interesting as well as just some other random pages. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, so let's try this voiceover thing. I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm making a page here for Captain America Brave New World. I'm writing out Captain America in my red acrylic marker. It's my first time using it, so I was a little bit nervous about it. I then also wrote the Brave New World subtitle above it with like a blue Crayola super tip because it's just a bit finer. I added some washi tape at the bottom for decoration, of course, red and blue because that's the Captain America colors. I am already decorating this page, but I'm not fully setting it up yet. That's for later, but I just thought I'd get this idea out of my system for the page that I had, and I still needed a couple of things to print out because I don't just want to print out one movie poster. It's a bit of a waste of paper, but here's me just trimming the washi tape to size, and then here's me actually finally having enough to print out. So I'm just showing you that I did that and I cut it all up. So I'm doing 3 spreads with these pictures, starting off with my Magnolia Parks into the dog spread. This is also another like layout I set up. I did this before I came up with the idea to do a journal with me video, so I apologize on the footage for it, but I just basically made like a little border with washi tape and just some decoration, and now I'm putting on some pictures that I got from Pinterest. They kind of like encapsulate the vibe, and I stuck those down, and here I am just seeing what color I want to use for the title, whatever matches like the vibe of the spread best. I also stuck down the cover, which I got from Goodreads, and then here I am actually writing it all out. It's a long title, so I'm writing pretty small as a Crayola super tip, like always, because I prefer using those. I don't know why. I'm now also making like a little color block that the author's name is gonna go in. I am writing down my star rating for this book. I gave it 5 stars, really loved it. It was a big surprise, as you might know if you watched my bookish video. And then I am writing like a little review down now. I typically just write about why I picked up the book, what I thought of it, just some random things. It's not anything too deep, honestly, not an analysis, just thoughts that correspond to it. It's also sometimes just about the circumstances in which I read the book. Just me blabbing, I don't know. And yeah, I made a little cut so you don't have to see all of that writing. I feel like it's boring to watch it all, so yeah. And then I am coming back to write the title, the author down here, read it with that to let the ink dry, and I'm on to my Captain America page. I'm sticking out a cover. I'm again putting the star rating next down to it. It's a cover, it's a poster, I apologize, but I'm putting down a star rating next to it. I then realize that it kind of looks a bit empty, so I make this border around it with my acrylic marker. I immediately regret this because I think it looks really fucking ugly, so yeah, but I had to commit. What you gonna do about it, you know? Here I realized that kind of what I did was ugly, so I peeled up the poster a little bit because I thought I would make a bit more of a block of red around it because I thought that might look better. Spoiler alert, it really didn't look better, and also it smudged the ink of the black pen that I used to write the star rating, so it looks even worse. So yeah, I apologize for that. I don't know what I'm doing, but there's that. And I really, really hate it. But once you put it down, you can go back. That's another part. Here you can see how the black smudged. It looked awful. I'm sticking down the poster again, adding some more glue to make sure it really sticks. And then I start writing my review for this. Again, I just kind of write random thoughts. And here I also just talked about like the wider MCU as well with this movie and like the implications of it. I don't know what you want me to say about what I wrote about these movies. I did halfway through writing decide to put a blue border around the red block to just make it match a bit more with the rest of the page, and also because I thought it would make it look better. Spoiler alert, it really didn't. Nothing will make this ever look good. And I hate it. And then I put the star rating on top of it again, but now with my black marker because I thought that would cover a bit more of the smudging. Spoiler alert again, it didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. And then on like the top of the little border, I write the word rating because I thought it looked a bit empty. And then I just continue writing down my thoughts for this movie. I don't know why I had so much to say about it because I filled almost an entire page with it. But yeah, here we go. Here's me finishing up writing the review in case you want to know. And yeah, the end of the page. Then I am starting my spread for Sunrise on the Reaping, another book that I read this month and absolutely adored. I am starting off with a little quote page. I just wrote down one of the lines, and it's "they will not use our tears for their entertainment." I thought it was like the best quote from the book. I did make a mistake, so I used correction tape there in case you wanted to know what that was. So I just wrote it down very simply, and now I'm just writing down Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins to know where the quote's from, even though on the next page I am gonna make a whole page for the book, so why would it not be about that? Anyway, here I am again making my Sunrise on the Reaping like actual like review page, I guess, and I am making a border because I like how it looks. It is a pain in the ass to make, but especially because I wanted to look like really good and crisp, and I never can make it work properly. But I really like how just like a border works, and it helps frame the page, and I don't know, I don't like how it looks. By the way, if you want to know how I decide for which books to make a full page, I don't know, it's pure vibes. In this video, I used Magnolia Parks and Sunrise on the Reaping, and those were both 5 stars. But I've also made a page for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I was a 4-star, so it's not like it's a requirement for me to love it. Like Captain America Brave New World, I only gave 3 stars, but I felt like writing something about it, so I made a page for it. It's that simple sometimes. But yeah, here I am putting down some decorative washi. I was seeing where I would best put it. Here I'm putting on the cover just so I can see how much washi I'll need to use as a little backdrop. And here I'm sticking that down, and then I'm placing a cover, and I'm seeing again if I want to use another washi to kind of decorate it, but I kind of feel like I overdid it on the Magnolia Parks page, so I kind of went less is more on this one. So here I am just gluing down the cover. I put it a bit tilted. I thought it would be a little bit cooler. Here I am putting down pictures. Again, these are all from Pinterest, just to generally capture the vibe of the book a little bit. And I'm just placing it down, seeing how it would work. I'm not really figuring out. I really struggled for a really long time with how I wanted to place these pictures on here because I couldn't really figure it out. Here I'm taking them off. I'm putting down on a Peter washi to have more of a balance. Here I glued down the pictures, but here I'm having trouble. I also include a little quote, and I was having trouble with how to place that, so I cut it up actually. And here I am trying to place that now, cut up, because I couldn't go back anymore because it's cut now, but I didn't like how it was, so I glued it down, and that's done. Here I am again trying out a marker to make for sure that it's a good color match, and then I am writing down the title with it. There is construction going on outside, by the way. I'm trying to talk around it as much as possible. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm sorry for that. But here I am leaving a little room for the author name later when it's dried up. I am putting down my star rating. Like I said, this was a 5-star. Absolutely love this book put me to absolute tears, put me to the ringer. By the way, stick around until next week if you want for my longest video ever. That was such a pain in the ass, but it's my spoiler vlog for Sunrise on the Reaping. It is coming. Here I am writing down my thoughts, and it's mainly about how much I cried while reading it. I know, and I'm finishing up my little review for it. It is, I don't know what to say. It is getting predictable. This voiceover thing is not my thing. Anyway, here I am just highlighting the little quote I put on the other page because I thought it would just make it pop a bit more. That's this tabular marker. We have already moved on to the next thing. Oh my god, this is going so fast all of a sudden. Anyway, here I am cutting out pictures for my wrap-ups, because I always like doing a little wrap-up at the end of the month, here I am writing down the titles on craft paper. Oh my god, I can't believe that I just was trying to ramble full a page and now I'm going too fast. As I said, this voiceover thing is a skill I still don't have, but I am writing out my titles for my May books read, shows watched, and movies watched. I'm starting off with the books, of course. I cut out each individual word and I glued them down, and now I'm putting out a cover for a book I read. I then write down the title and the author's name, you know, I don't know, so you know what it is. It is on the cover, but it's also written down. And then I put my star rating underneath the cover as well, so I can refer back to that. I made a mistake here, so some more correction tape, and I fixed it. And then I'm alternating like spots for the cover, and I'm putting 4 on a page. I kind of sped this up a little in editing because it's constantly the same thing. It's boring. If you want to watch me put down each individual like picture, it is truly a bore, I promise you. So here I am just putting them all down. I read 16 books in the month of May, which is a lot. I had a lot to put down, and I also had one DNF that also was in the wrap up here. And yeah, I wrote down my thoughts of the books off camera, and here I am highlighting the titles with my green marker because that's the color for the month, so it just has a little pop. And then I am doing the same for my shows watch, which I have moved on to. Here I am, I put down the title again, words cut out individually, then I put the poster for that particular season. I write down the title of the show, the season that I watched that month, and my star rating, and then again it is alternating on the page. This is moving so quickly, oh my god, it's way better to watch than when I had it originally, but I don't know what I'm talking about. So here we go. I have 2 pages of it. I didn't watch that many shows, and again here I am writing down the thoughts, highlighting the titles. Here you can see I'm actually didn't skip any of the titles for this one because there just wasn't that much. And then I'm moving on to my movies watched. I didn't really watch that many movies in May. I only watched 2, but I did watch a couple of comedy things, and I don't always rate comedy things, so there's gonna be one in here that doesn't have a rating, but for the rest I just wrote down the title, the year it came out, star rating, and of course we have the poster that alternates plots just because I think that looks better. So there we go. And here I am putting the last 2 movies on as well, and then I will be writing my thoughts of page. This is just like a small blurb about what I thought of the movie, book, show, whatever wrap up we were on, and highlighting the different titles. I do also put a little mark for rewatches, but there we go. Now I am doing my June cover page. This was really fun. This is very different than what I've done before for cover pages. I put a piece of craft paper underneath my page just so I could see the border better, because this washi tape that I'm putting on is like directly on the border and I didn't want to put it over too much. I then take a piece of white paper to write out June with my color of the month. I always pick a Crayola marker that is like my color of the month. Here I am with like a darker blue, so I also put washis to correspond with that, and then I cut each individual letter out and glued it down, although here it doesn't look like they're glued down, but they are, I promise. And then I wrote down the number for like the day I have something to do, like the 8th is at the top, and then next to it I write down the event that's going on that day, or like what holiday, or like whatever it is that day that I needed to take note of. I don't know, sometimes it's like releases from artists I love. So it's a bunch of random things. I can't really explain it, but I like having it at the front of each month. It kind of serves as a bit of an index. And here I am flipping through the pages that I made in this video with the Magnolia Parks one and Captain America. I told you that red looks ugly. Then we have my sunrise on the reaping spot. I truly love this so much. I don't know why. There's something about it that every time I look at it, I just like am odd. I think it turned out so well. And here are my May books read, so you can see more how all of that turned out, because I went quite quickly through making those pages. And then, yeah, sunrise was the book only there on a page, which was kind of annoying that it didn't turn out well. But yeah, here we go, my shows watched. By the way, you can read these little blurbs. There shouldn't be any spoilers in them if you are curious, but you could also watch my May wrap up or my everything I watched in May. Brings us to the end. So yeah, that was my journal for the week. I don't know, I'm just gonna say the Magnolia Parks page, I don't know fully yet if I like how this turned out. It has been a couple of days and I still don't know, because I feel like I did a bit too much. Then the Captain America page, I don't love this. I think it looks ugly, but I tried something and I had to stick with it. And then I adore my Sunrise on the Reaping pages. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is very simple, but this I love. I love how this is, and I'm so obsessed with it. And I do really also like my June cover spread. It's a bit different than how I typically do them, but I like it. And yeah, that is everything I have for you today. I am planning on doing a full flip through of this journal once I'm finished with it, because I think I'm gonna retire this one in June, because like the wings of this are barely holding up because it gotten so thick. So I think even if I don't like end up using all of these pages, I will wrap this one up after June. But June is looking like a busy month, so I might journal quite a lot. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more journal videos from me, let me know in a comment. I don't know how I'll do them, if I'll do them again. We'll see how this turns out. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? I should have played it cool instead of